Hi guys, Matt B's Movies back for another video, and this is part 2 of my Blu-ray collection series of videos. So yeah, we've done part 1, so if you've not seen that video, pop back and have a look in my playlist. There'll be a Blu-ray collection playlist in there, so you can go back and look at these different episodes at your own leisure. So yeah, we're going to sort of look at some more Blu-rays in my collection. These will include steelbooks and 3D editions, but not 4Ks. We'll leave that for another time. So yeah, let's get into it today on the channel. And welcome back. So yeah, I've got a stack next to me here, so let's just get into it. Okay, so the first one we've got is the Three Musketeers 3D edition. Yet to see this one, yeah. Next up, Local Hero. Fantastic film, this one. I really enjoyed this film from many years ago, starring Burt Lancaster and Peter Riegert. Yeah, really good film, this one. Next up, a classic, Assault on Precinct 13. Yeah, fantastic film, this one, and I actually quite enjoyed the remake as well. But yeah, that's a second sight edition, I think. Next up, Gods of Egypt, 3D and Blu-ray edition. I quite enjoyed this film. Yeah, it's a bit daft, but entertaining. Next up, The Woman in Black, Angel of Death, the sequel. I quite enjoyed this. I thought it was yeah, done very well. Popped it in a black case as well. Yeah, a bit creepy from Hammer Horror. Next up, The Woman in Black, the first one, starring Daniel Radcliffe. Nice lenticular on that one. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Very atmospheric, all set in the sort of haunted house, and yeah, a nice release on Blu-ray. Next up is The Legend of Tarzan. Now, again, this was sent to me by AJ. He sent me the 3D edition, and he popped the standard Amaray case on. I think he kept the lenticular, but yeah, I'll have to pick the lenticular up at some point. But yeah, quite a good film, you know, entertaining. So that's The Legend of Tarzan. Next up, Manhunter. Fantastic film, this one. This was the sort of, well, the first film that was done by Michael Mann before Silence of the Lambs, starring I forget, William Peterson, and it had Brian Cox played Hannibal Lecter in this. Really good film, and I popped it in a red case. I thought it complemented the artwork very well. Next up, M. Night Shyamalan film, Devil. Again, pop this in a red case because I thought it complemented it. Yeah, really enjoyed this film, all set in an elevator. Yeah, one of his better films, in my opinion. Next up, The Awakening, sort of British supernatural paranormal horror film. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this one. It's got a nice lenticular on it as well. Yeah, very entertaining film. Next up, Godzilla, King of the Monsters in 3D and the Blu-ray. Yeah, I really enjoy these films. The sort of Monarch, you know, franchise. So yeah, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And then following on from that, the first Godzilla film, again in 3D with a nice lenticular. So yeah. Next up, Assassin's Creed. Now this is the lenticular on the front here, and it does say the Blu-ray and digital, but underneath is the 3D Amaray and Blu-ray. An entertaining film, nothing amazing, but picked it up cheap, and yeah, it's all right. Next up, now again I popped this in a 4K case. I know it's not 4K. I do believe there is a 4K of this, but yeah, I just like the sort of the black case. Casablanca, you know, an absolute classic. I don't know what the 4K looks like. I'm sure it looks wonderful, but I'm quite happy with this. Okay, so now onto my TV series on Blu-ray. So we have Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 7. And we have Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 6. Star Trek Next Generation Season 5. And these all look wonderful on Blu-ray. They went in and restored them all, remastered them. They look fantastic. The best they've ever looked. Season 4. Season 3. Again, these are all nice. They're all different colours. And on the back there, it kind of shows you before and after, sort of showing you the visual effects and how they improved them. Season 2. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get a slipcover for this one. Incredibly hard to get the slipcover for Season 2. But I'm always keep my eye open on eBay. You never know, one day I might be able to get one for a reasonable price. And then lastly, Season 1. And again, the same thing with this, no slipcover, incredibly difficult to get hold of, but I'm sure at some point I'll be able to track one down. Okay, so next up, now this is a really good paranormal film based on a true story, When the Lights Went Out. And again, I popped this in a black case, thought it complemented the artwork. Really do like this film. Yeah, this is the film about the Black Monk of Pontefract, 30 East Drive, which is sort of a house that you can still visit, which claims to be haunted by the Black Monk. Next up, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Fantastic Die Hard film, this one. This and the first film for me are the two best Die Hard films. I really like the chemistry between Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson in this one. And yeah, and again, popped it in a black case. Next up, Sanctum 3D. James Cameron, executive producer on this one. The 3D on this is really, really good. Film is okay, nothing amazing, but yeah, it's one of the early 3D titles that I picked up in my collection. So yeah, Sanctum 3D. Next up, World War Z 3D Blu-ray. Yet to check out the 3D version on this one, but I did enjoy the film in standard 2D, starring Brad Pitt. So yeah. Next up, The Raid 2. Fantastic film, this. Really, really enjoyed this, and this is the UK slipcover. And then lastly, the first film, The Raid. This is the HMV exclusive with a really nice lenticular, and it does contain The Raid Little White Lies mini magazine. And there's your back. So yeah, that's this part over and done with. Hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, if you've not checked out part 1, why not go back into the playlist and have a look at that one, and then come back next time for part 3, where we continue looking at my Blu-ray collection. Thoughts and comments down below.